In the serene village of Igbadan, preparations were underway for the grand wedding of Adewale, a respected farmer known for his kindness, and Amawanmi, the youngest daughter of the wealthy chief Oladikan. The air buzzed with excitement, and women gathered to sing songs of love and prosperity. But beneath the joyful facade, whispers of discontent rippled through the village. How could Adewale remarry so soon after his first wife, Moreo, passed away? An elder muttered. Her spirit might not rest peacefully. Despite these murmurs, Adewale's family pressed forward, eager to embrace a new chapter. As the sun set on the eve of the wedding, a chilling breeze swept through the village. In the distance, the baobab tree, believed to house the spirits of the ancestors, swayed unnaturally. Some villagers claimed to hear faint whispers carried by the wind. Moreo's spirit is restless, an old woman warned, her voice trembling. That night, Adewale tossed and turned in his sleep. In his dream, he saw Moreo, his first wife, dressed in the white wrapper she had been buried in. Her face was pale, her eyes hollow, but her voice was firm. "You've vowed to love me forever," she said, her tone both sorrowful and accusing. "Why have you forgotten me so soon?" Adewale woke with a start, his body drenched in sweat. He dismissed the dream as guilt manifesting from a gossip around the village. "It's just my mind playing tricks," he muttered to himself. Yet, deep down, a sense of unease lingered. As Amawanmi's family prepared for her departure to her new home, strange occurrences began to unfold. The white lace fabric intended for her wedding gown turned a dull gray overnight, and the beads meant for her hair snapped without explanation. "These are signs," her mother whispered, her face etched with worry. But Amawanmi, determined not to let superstition overshadow her happiness, brushed it off. On the morning of the wedding, Amawanmi's maid of honor found her sitting by the riverbank, staring at the water's surface. "What are you doing here?" the maid asked, her voice tinged with concern. Amawanmi turned slowly, her face unusually pale. "I thought I saw someone watching me from the river," she murmured. The ceremony began with traditional songs and dances, and the villagers gathered in the square to celebrate. As the priest raised his hands to bless the union, a powerful gust of wind swept through, extinguishing the ceremonial flames. Gasps erupted from the crowd as a low, haunting laugh echoed around them. From the shadows, a figure emerged, draped in white. It was Moreo, her form translucent yet unmistakable. "This wedding cannot proceed," she declared, her voice resonating with an otherworldly power. Amawanmi screamed, clutching Adewale's arm. The villagers fell to their knees, some wailing, others whispering prayers. Adewale, trembling but determined, stepped forward. "Moreo, why have you returned?" he asked, his voice cracking. The spirit's gaze bore into him. "You broke your vow, Adewale. You swore we would be together in life and death. Yet here you stand, ready to replace me." The priest, clutching his staff, spoke with authority. "Spirit, what must be done to appease you?" Moreo's lips curled into a sad smile. "My heart must find peace. Until then, no union shall prosper in this place." With those words, she vanished, leaving behind a chilling silence. The village elders convened that evening under the Irako tree to decide what to do. "This is no ordinary spirit," Baba Oak said, his voice grave. "Moreo's anger stems from betrayal, and such anger fuels great power. Should we proceed with the wedding and risk her wrath?" another elder asked. The council debated late into the night, torn between tradition and the supernatural threat. Adewale sat silently, his heart heavy with guilt and confusion. Desperate for answers, Adewale sought out Yeyaduni, the village priestess known for her connection to the spirit world. Her shrine, hidden deep within the forest, was adorned with cowries and feathers. She listened intently as Adewale recounted the events. "Moreo's spirit clings to the living world because her heart is bound by pain," Yeyaduni explained. "You must journey to her grave and offer her the closure she seeks. Only then can her soul be free." The next day, Adewale and a small group of villagers, including Baba Oak and Amawanmi, set out for Moreo's grave. The path was shrouded in mist, the air thick with an unnatural chill. Yea Dunny led the way, her staff glowing faintly as she chanted prayers for protection. When they reached the grave, they found it disturbed. The soil was loose, and faint footprints led away from the site. Her spirit is not resting, Yea Dunny said grimly. She placed offerings of kola nuts and cowries on the grave and instructed Adewale to kneel. As Adewale knelt, he felt a sudden weight on his chest, as though unseen hands were pressing down on him. Moreo's voice echoed around them. You have come, but words alone will not mend what is broken. Her figure appeared, more vivid than before, her eyes filled with sorrow. Moreo, I failed you, Adewale admitted, tears streaming down his face. Tell me how I can make this right. The spirit's expression softened slightly. To heal my pain, you must show me that your love was true and that I am not forgotten. Yea Dunny explained that Moreo's spirit demanded a test of Adewale's love. He was to spend a night at her grave, recounting the memories they shared and the promises they made. If his words were sincere, the spirit would release its hold on the village. That night, under the moonlight, Adewale sat by the grave, speaking softly. Do you remember our walks by the river? The songs we sang together? I have never stopped loving you, Moreo. Forgive me for failing to honor your memory. As he spoke, the wind calmed and the oppressive weight lifted slightly, signaling that his words were reaching her. As the first light of dawn crept across the horizon, the air around Moreo's grave grew colder. Adewale remained kneeling, his voice hoarse from recounting their shared moments. The grass beneath him was damp with morning dew, and the atmosphere felt heavy with expectation. Suddenly, a faint glow began to emanate from the grave. It pulsed gently, as if the earth itself was breathing. Moreo's figure materialized once more vivid than before. Her eyes, shimmering with a mix of sorrow and love, bore into Adewale. Your words have touched my heart, but words alone are fleeting, she said, her voice carrying an ethereal resonance. Prove your love through an act that will endure, one that ensures my memory lives on. The villagers surrounding the grave, including Yea Dunny, exchanged uneasy glances. The priestess stepped forward, her voice steady. Spirit, what act would you deem worthy of such proof? Speak, so we may guide him. Moreo's gaze softened as she gestured toward a clearing near the edge of the village. Plant a tree in my honor. Let it grow as a symbol of the love we shared and the promise that remains unbroken. Tend to it as you would tend to my memory. Only then can my spirit rest. The task was clear, and Adewale wasted no time. The villagers, united in their desire to bring peace to their community, gathered to help him fulfill Moreo's request. Yea Dunny selected a young Irako sapling, a tree revered for its strength and longevity. This tree will stand for generations, she said. It is a fitting tribute to a love so profound. As the villagers carried the sapling to the clearing, the sky seemed to brighten, and the oppressive chill lifted slightly. Adewale dug into the earth with his bare hands, his movements fueled by determination and regret. Each scoop of soil felt like a step toward redemption. Amawanmi, standing quietly to the side, watched with a mixture of awe and apprehension. When the hole was deep enough, Yea Dunny placed the sapling into it, her hands steady as she whispered a prayer to the spirits. Great ancestors, bless this tree as a bridge between the living and the departed. Let its roots anchor peace and its branches shelter love, she intoned. The villagers joined in, their voices creating a harmonious chant that filled the clearing. As Adewale covered the roots with soil, he felt a warmth radiating from the ground. The sapling's leaves glistened as though kissed by dew, despite the dry morning. A gentle breeze swept through the clearing, carrying with it the faint scent of wildflowers. Moreo's voice echoed softly. This tree shall be my peace. Tend to it, and I shall guard your union and your village. The villagers gasped as her figure faded into the rising sunlight, leaving behind an aura of tranquility. The Irako sapling stood tall, its presence commanding respect and reverence. Baba Oak, the elder, spoke with conviction. "This tree is now a part of our village's legacy. We must honor it as we honor the memory of those we love." Adewale knelt before the tree, his heart lighter than it had been in weeks. "Moreo," he whispered, "your love will never be forgotten. This tree will grow strong, just as you were." Alma approached him cautiously, placing a hand on his shoulder. "We will tend to it together," she said softly, her voice filled with understanding. The villagers began to disperse, their spirits uplifted, knowing that peace had been restored to Igbodan. The miraculous tree became a focal point of life in Igbodan. Its shade provided solace during the hottest days, and its presence inspired a renewed sense of community. Villagers began to resolve long-standing disputes, their hearts softened by the reminders of love and forgiveness that the tree represented. Alma, inspired by Moreo's legacy, began teaching the village children about the importance of respect and unity. "This tree is more than just a symbol," she told them. "It is a reminder that love and kindness can heal even the deepest wounds." Adewale, too, found a new purpose. He started planting more trees around the village, creating a lush and vibrant environment that reflected the peace that had been restored. The villagers affectionately named the clearing Moreo's Grove, a place where joy and reflection intertwined.